So this is going to be just an overview of the generic trader platform. I'm just going to go over briefly all the different components and everything about the platform. And then in following videos, I will go into more detail. So I'm not going to go into details about like the certain widgets and stuff as I'm going over this. I'm just going to give a brief overview as a familiarization with the platform. Then the following videos will be in more detail about each part. So the first thing that I want to mention here is the version that I'm doing this overview on. It's going to be version 1.92.2, released June 16th, 2023. And they are still working on improving the platform. So be on the lookout for more features and improvements in the future. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so starting from the left going into the right, let's go ahead and talk about this top menu up here. You have your main menu right here in this button here, the hamburger menu button. Next to that, you have your different widgets, and all of these windows that you can use, they're called widgets. And these are the different widgets that are available as of the recording of this video. And then over here, you can look up a symbol, have a search box, look up the symbol. So just for example, if I want to look up MES, I can just look it up that way. Usually you want to put a dot after the main symbol. So like for the S&P futures, the micros would be MES. If you wanted just the E-minis, it's ES, and then you put a dot, and then you can see the contracts, right? And moving on, you have these icons over here that are related to the widgets that you have open. One thing about these icons up here is if you minimize one of your widgets, the way to get them back is you click these icons up here. And so I'm going to try to open up my trading matrix, right? So if I start clicking these icons, then they will come back to me. All right, so that's what those are for. However, if let's just say if you get one of your widgets lost behind another one, so I put the fields widget is now behind the advanced trader. One thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't bring it to the front. So if you click that and then nothing happens, more than likely your widget is behind another widget. So you just start moving your widgets around till you can find it, and then now you have it. There it is, right? So that's one thing to be aware of when you start moving things around and customizing your workspace, to make sure that you're not hiding windows that you need easy or quick access to. And then over on the right, you have this formulas thing if you want to, something that most traders are really not going to need. But you know, if you want to play around with some formulas, you have that option there. And then you have your notifications link up here. Any kind of notification that you get, they'll be right there. And then you have your account information. You can change accounts up here. This is just a demo. And then you have your connection status bar menu right here, right? Now, so let's go back over to the menu, to the main menu. You have some options up here for the workspace. You have your workspace options up here where you can create a new workspace. You can open a previous workspace. This workspace that I'm in right now, this is the default example. So the first time that you open up Generic Trader, this is what you'll get. And then you can save it, and then you can delete your workspaces here. And then you have general platform settings that you can go into there. I'm gonna go into more details about this in another video. You can deposit funds from here. You can request your withdrawals from here. Change your password, change your platform type. There are pretty much two different platform types for Generic Trader. You have your Go, which is a more simple version of the one that I'm on now. Right now I'm using the Pro version. It gives me more options and more things to, play with. And you can reset your demo account from here. So if you're in your demo account, you start, messing around with things, placing the trades, and you want to start over, you can just click on this reset demo and then it'll do it right away. Just click OK. And then you can contact them. They give you a link to contact them right here, and then you can log out, right? So now moving on to the widgets. These are the main widgets that are open up right now that most traders will probably use. You have your trading matrix, also known as your quotes widget, pretty much a quote board where you can get a lot of information about whatever contract that you're interested in trading or analyzing. And the default trading metrics that comes with the example workspace, you have some different tabs here for like quick access to whatever futures contract you may be interested in trading. And then you have some more options over here for the different symbols. And then you have your charts widget here. You can trade from this chart. You can add your indicators in here. Here's your drawings button there. If you want to delete a chart, you got some more chart options up here, and then you can have multiple windows here depending on what you add to the chart window, right? And then you also have tabs where you can add different symbols for each chart widget, right? And then we have the account detail widget. It's going to show you information about your account. You can also see the orders that you've taken in this. We'll get into more details with that later. Then you have your order book below that, where you can get some different information about your order book. You have, whenever you place a trade, your fields will show up here. You can see all the information about your fields there. And then you have your advanced trader, which is pretty much a DOM that gives you a lot of different options for placing trades and managing positions. So those are your main widgets. You also have some additional widgets, as in your time and sales. You can bring up time and sales information about a contract that you're trading or that you're looking at. So for example, let me just bring up MES. And see, now you got your time and sales in there. Go ahead and move this over for the next one. Then let's look at the strategies. Here you can place different strategies. So for example, you have a bracket order that you use all the time. You can set those strategies up in here. So let's say, for example, every time you place a trade, you want to try to profit 30 points while risking 10. You can set up your bracket orders in the strategy, and you can have all your strategies, whatever kind of strategy that you want to use, you can have it set up here. But you can set all of those up there, and then when you want to use them, you can go over to, like, say in your advanced trader widget, you can go over here and you can select the strategy that you want to use. So that's the strategies widget. Then we have, you interested in doing something with spreads, you got a spreads widget right here that you can use. And then also you have your alerts, so you can set up alerts. You can add your alerts in down there. If you want to place an alert for whatever you're trying to look at, you can place it there. And then you have your watch list. So separate from your quotes widget, from your trading matrix, you can also just have a watch list. So you can start adding things in here that you want to keep an eye on. So I'm just going to add in MES there. And so you can start building a watch list like that. And you can use the watch list if you're interested. Also from this watch list, you can like open up charts. It's kind of a more simplified version of the quotes widget of the trading matrix, right? And then you can see your statements here, right? So anytime you get a statement, you can just bring it up right from the platform. You can open your statements up right from the platform. And lastly, you have your events contract. You can play around with this if you're interested in messing around with that. All right, so as you can see, I made a couple adjustments to the layout of this workspace. Now I want to show you how to like go about saving the workspace and as a new workspace, or doing different things with the workspace, right? So the first thing I want to mention is, like, let's say you want to change these windows around. One thing I do want to note here, instead of like trying to drag and drop from the edges like so to actually click the wrong one, when you do that, it can kind of make your windows jump around a little bit. So what you'll want to do is you actually want to, let me move this one back and I'll show you at the top where it's easier to see. You want to click on the lower right corner of the widget where you have the double arrows, and then that would allow you to move the widgets around without it snapping kind of randomly and messing up your layout, right? Since I can move it around and just stick to wherever I move it. So as of this version, that's the best way to resize your widgets. Now, so once I got this looking the way that I want it to look, I can go ahead and save it as a new widget. And I would just go to save as. And then let's just call this MV3 Trader Test, right? Then I just click save. And so now I just saved as that. All right, so let me go up here and I'm gonna open up the example again just to illustrate this. So now let's say I want to open that new workspace that I created. I'll just go to open, and then I go to MV3 test and I hit click open. And if you get to a point to where you build multiple workspaces and you want to know which workspace you're using, all you got to do is go to the menu and go to open, and it'll show you which workspace that you're currently using. And I'm going to save it as again, and I'm going to change the name. Let's go. I'm just going to add a 2 to the end of it. You can see it automatically puts it as a new workspace. Then I'm going to save it this time as test 2, the test 2 workspace. And so now I go back into open. and then I can see the 2 workspaces that I just created. Now, if I want to delete a workspace, let's go to delete, back to the main menu and delete. And then you can see workspaces that it will allow you to delete. It will only allow you to delete the workspaces you're not currently using. So I want to delete test 2. Let me cancel out of that. Open up the one that I don't want to delete. And then we can go back to the menu, click delete. Now I want to delete the test 2 workspace. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And just like that, it's gone. All right. So one more thing. You have your platform type. So this is the Pro platform, or this is Generic Trader Pro. If I wanted something more simple, I don't need all of this stuff. I want a more simple version of the Generic Trader platform. I can go and I can change my platform type. So I just go into the menu, go to change platform type, and then I'll click on go. It gives you a description of the difference between each platform type. So once I click the one that I want, I click save. It will immediately adjust my workspace to fit the features of the platform type that I chose, right? So you see this is a more simplified version. Doesn't have all the stuff as the Pro version. If I click on a chart, you just get a nice simple chart here that you can trade from. You can adjust the window and all that stuff, your typical chart stuff, but it's a simplified version, right? So let me go back. And then also you can see in the Go version, you have less options to choose from, but I'm gonna go back to the Pro version. Click save. And now I'm back to my settings on the Pro version. Also, the cool thing about this is everything is saved in the cloud. Everything is saved at Generic Trader's servers. If you have multiple devices like I do, whatever changes that you make and you save on one platform, if you go to another device, you bring up Generic Trader, you'll have the same workspace, the same settings that you saved the last time. And then lastly, you can also have multiple workspaces up at one time. And the way that you would go about having multiple workspaces up at one time, all that you would do is you would just open up Generic Trader, another Generic Trader window, just like you opened this one. And then it'll bring you back to the login screen. You'll just log in again. All right, and now you can see I have multiple workspaces open at one time. Because I got 2 monitors, I can have one workspace open on one monitor and another workspace open on another monitor. All right, so that's just a brief overview of the Generic Trader platform. Go ahead and leave any questions you have in the comments. And like I said, the following videos, I'll be going into more details about each widget and the different things that you can do inside of the platform.